Hi, it's Felicia Slattery, and welcome to our regular Tuesday noon Eastern Time show, Creating Connections with Felicia Slattery. That's me. And you are here for another fun hour-long show where we are going to be talking about how you can create connections with people, whether it's online or offline. Today with your marketing, and today with my guest, Robin. Now, is it Piscotta or Piscata?
Close. It's Smith. Oh no. It's Piscota.
Okay. So I knew I was going to get it wrong, so I figured I'm just going to ask right off the top. Piscota. So now we got Robin's name out of the way. And the funny thing is we've been Facebook friends for probably a year or more. Yeah. And we kind of, we chat a lot. And the reason that Robin is here is because she is like the mistress of rants. But her rants are not like ranty rant. They're ranty, but they're not. They're rants with a purpose.
Yes, and good one.
One of the things that Robin, that you rant about is because that's your area of expertise, is marketing. And so, rather than me like telling everybody about you, we had a nice long conversation yesterday. And like I said, I've known you for a while now. Tell people a little bit about you and I know you work with your husband's company, a little bit of what you do and who you do it for.
Okay, well, I am a marketing evangelist. And I always like to say I proselytize entrepreneurs. Basically, we love to make people obsessed with sales and marketing. What we do specifically, we eat, sleep, live, and breathe direct response marketing, copywriting, persuasion, all anchored in human psychology, common sense type of marketing, common sense type of stuff. And what we specifically do in our business, marketingyourpurpose.com, we teach all that to other entrepreneurs, but we specifically apply it to funnels, online marketing and sales funnels. And so that's what we do.
Sweet.
There you are.
No, I was muted so that you couldn't hear me coughing and typing. I was like sharing at the same time. So excellent. All right. So I love the marketing evangelist. That's really cool. All right. So
basically, the easiest way to describe it is we help other entrepreneurs get people and convert people in measurable and repeatable and scalable ways. That's like the quickie soundbite how to.
Nice. Easy. I love that. All right. So obviously you're all about marketing. So I have in my mind, I know what's up with your rants, but you tell me what's up with all the rants all the time on Facebook.
The rants are just, I must rant. Like I'm compelled to rant. It's almost like if you are in a position where you're so blessed to be able to have a vantage point or to have life experiences to be able to see why other people are struggling, and like you see it so clearly, but you see everyone around you that's like totally struggling and just in a big turmoil. It's like, how could you not? Like, you have to shout it from the rooftop. It's like, it reminds me of, have you ever seen the movie The Grinch, for the Christmas movie? And he's going through his calendar and he's like, of the stuff he has to do today. And he's like, solve world hunger, tell no one. It's like, who does that unless you're the Grinch, right? If you have the solutions and you can see the solutions so easily and so clearly, I think it's your duty. It's your duty to shout it from the rooftops and to, I prefer to do it rant style because I'm just feisty and that's just my personality. I love sarcasm and humor, so I do it rant style, but it's a compulsion that you just have to get it out of you, really.
Well, and I see that about you, that you just are, and that's an interesting, an interesting sidebar, is that you just are so compelled to share your message, you can't stop yourself. You just have to do it. Yeah. And that's, and that's passion. That's important. So, during the first couple of days of the new year, I went back and I was trying to find it in your stream, but I don't know, I couldn't find it. I thought, well, maybe it's in the group, but because I know you've got a Facebook group. We'll talk about that in a little while. But I saw you posting about, people making resolutions, of course, which is a big deal for this time of year, and about how really if you're in business, your resolution should be sales and marketing. Yeah. That's it. Like that should. So talk about, what do you mean by that? Because when you wrote that, I was like, amen. That's what it should be.
Exactly. That's my evangelist side coming out. Well, really, because sales and marketing, that's how businesses function. That's how real businesses function. That's how they survive, and that's how they thrive. But what we see going on when you're in kind of like the coaching bubble, as I like to call it, or the personal development space, what happens is that there's so many messages out there that's like, do what you love, follow your passion, and things like this. And somewhere along the lines, the message is getting messed up. Either people are sending the message wrong on purpose, or the people receiving the message are misapplying the message. But people are taking that to mean that somehow you're deceived to thinking that you can get by in starting a coaching business or doing a business that you love without business 101, without the thing that makes your business survive, which is sales and marketing. It reminds me of one of my favorite TV shows that I love watching is Restaurant Impossible. And it's like the very first scene when he goes into this failing restaurant and he's assessing everything, he's like, why did you start this business? And they're like, well, I just always loved cooking, or, well, it was always my dream. I just thought it would be fun. I thought, it's always been my passion to want to start a restaurant. But he's like, okay, what experience do you have? Do you have any experience in running a business? Do you have any management experience, any financial experience? And they're like, no, I just like cooking. And he's like, he's like, hello, like, what would make somebody decide to start a business and think that they don't have to run it like a business? So that's why I always say, like, I'm evangelizing, trying to get people obsessed with sales and marketing, because your business cannot survive without it. There's a book that I read a long time ago. I think it was The E-Myth, where it talks about how that's how most people end up starting a business. Is like, you're either good at something and you're like, hey, I should make money at this. I'm good at making cupcakes, or, homemade crafts or whatever. I should start a business, or all your friends tell you to start a business. And then before you know it, you're going under and you're drowning and you're so overwhelmed. And people start telling you, well, you need to learn sales and marketing. You're like, but I don't want to. That's not what I enjoy. So it's like there's just mixed messages out there, and that's what the rant was all about, is that you have got to embrace sales and marketing, and you need to be learning those skills above anything else that you could possibly learn in your business.
Excellent. So welcome to the folks who have joined us. You are with me, Felicia Slattery, and watching Robin Peixoto. I said it right. And we're talking about how Robin rants a lot on Facebook, but her rants are very useful. Rants with a purpose is what I'm going to call it. And so that's where we are today. Now, Robin, you just said something in there that intrigued me. You said that maybe people are teaching the wrong thing on purpose. Explain what you mean by that.
Well, you can never.
I'm fine with being controversial, babe.
You can never know if somebody's doing it on purpose, or they're doing it just because they don't know any better, because their knowledge level isn't there. So you don't know their intentions. But so I have no idea. But it's a very real possibility that some people are teaching it incorrect on purpose and telling you that you need to learn this, you need to learn that, you need to go out and get the fanciest photo shoot and look like $1 million if you want to make $1 million and all these things. And they're telling you that message because that's what they sell. right? And you can't hate on them for that. That's business. But at the same time, there's just so many conflicting messages that are out there to people, especially if you're brand new. And it's like all those things that people are teaching, sure, they're all helpful things that can help you in business. But if it's being presented to you in a way that you can do these things and forget about sales and marketing, you can do these things instead of sales and marketing, then that's when I would have to call bullcrap. And that's when, those are not right messages. But then you also have people who they receive the message incorrectly and they apply it incorrectly because maybe subconsciously they're looking for a license to avoid marketing. And so they hear things the way that they want to hear them. So it's just people need to focus on their sales and marketing, period.
Okay. I message received. All right, so
like Dan Kennedy, he's one of our very first mentors that we listened to. Back when in one of my very first businesses, I got paid to do transcription, and I transcribed all the seminars and the mastermind meetings and all of Dan Kennedy's home study courses and everything. So we got paid to listen to all of Dan Kennedy's messages.
So that's how you got started. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what sparked the love of marketing. One message that he said stuck with me forever. And he was like, if I'm at a networking meeting and I go to meet somebody and I ask you, what do? You better say you're a marketer. I don't care if you have a lawn care business, you better say I'm a marketer and I just happen to mow lawns for clients. If you own a restaurant, I'm a marketer and I just happen to make delicious food and serve it to people who want the food. Whatever it is that you do in your business, that's what you do in your business, but you better start defining yourself as a marketer first and always looking at the marketing first. And that message, it's like, it's in me.
I get that. Well, now, all right, so that explains a lot. I knew that you followed direct marketing principles and so forth, but I didn't know that you had done transcriptions and things for Dan Kennedy stuff. So now
Dan Kennedy amongst some other legends as well. So yeah.
Sweet. All right. Excellent. So what was I going to say? All right. So let's talk about an example of this, because recently your husband purchased a company that was a business that was making like $7,000 a month in sales. And now as we talked yesterday, he's doing more than $2,000 a day in sales. And it's all really because of sales and marketing. Would you talk just a little bit about that?
Sure. Actually, it wasn't making $7,000 a month when he bought it. It had the total that it had made from the previous owner in 90 days of its existence was about $7,500. So it was making about $2,500 a month, and now it's making.
So you went from a month to that a day.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And all that is because of sales and marketing. So and it's a niche kind of a thing, right? Yeah. And it's about knowing the language that those people are interested in and the products that they want to buy. Is that pretty much what it boils down to?
Yeah, and really, I mean, when it's physical products, this particular business is physical products, and there's not even so much of needing to even know the language that people speak and things like that, because it's physical products. It's more like black and white. It's like this group of people, they want this particular type of thing. So there's not even really like having to write big long sales pages and things like that. It's finding a match between this group of people and this particular thing. So when you find that match, it's like the sky's the limit. You can do anything, but you have to be able to find that match in a way that you can measure, in a way that you can repeat and duplicate and then scale up. So that's why one of my rants, when I talk about busy work versus measurable marketing things, it's a totally different world, because when you're doing things measurable and you're looking at the math and you're looking at, I put in this much and I get back this much, then you can do anything. You can sell anything when you find that perfect match of the thing that I'm selling and the people that I'm selling it to.
Okay, so we've got measure, duplicate, and scale up. That's pretty much the path that you follow when you work with your clients. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. We try not to approach it in such geeky terms when with our students in our program and stuff like that. We try to, talk about it in common sense language and stuff like that. But basically, you have to understand what is the mechanism, what is making the sales. And so what you want to avoid is, you don't want that to be you and your hustle, right? You don't want it to be you and your hustle that's making the sales and going out and getting the people. You want it to be something that can be replicated. And so that's why when you hear me ranting so much about people, chasing after this new hypey thing and this new thing, we're always focusing on time-tested and proven things, because those are the things that are repeatable, duplicatable, when most of the new stuff that people are hyping up these days, it requires you and your effort, like 24/7.
Okay, so what are some of the things that people should be measuring?
Well, the two main things people should be measuring is your cost to acquire a customer and the average value of that customer. So as long as the cost that you're paying to acquire the customer is less than the average order value of that customer, you're in profit. Period. You're in profit no matter what. No matter what, if you only made $10 or if you made $1 million, you're in profit. So that's another thing that you just made me think of, is that people, with all the messages around in people's marketing these days about how I just made this much money in this much time and all of this, it causes people to focus on the wrong thing and to focus on amounts of money and showy type of stuff, rather than looking at your own business like a real business and just looking at profit and loss. Like if you made $10 profit, your business is successful and you are doing good. All you need to do is repeat that and scale it up, right? But most people, if they made $10, we have so many clients that come to us and they're like, oh, I need help. My launch, it sucked. My Facebook ads, they sucked. My launch sucked. And when we start really digging in there and looking at their numbers, we're like, this shit didn't suck. All you just need it to do is put more people through this now. Like, you're totally profitable. But people get discouraged when they don't know that and they're not looking at profit and loss in their business and they're comparing to everyone else out there. What happens is then you give up on every new tactic you're doing. You give up on it too soon, and then you do the next thing that the next guru said, and you do the next thing that the next guru said to do. All along you're thinking that you've tried everything and that they all suck, but really a lot of times you were successful in them. You just need to stick to one thing and you need to repeat it, duplicate it, and scale it. You know, Mike and I, the very first time we ever did a webinar, or it was the live speaking, we sold 2 things at the speaking. Most people would go, crying, eating a pint of ice cream that it sucks, right?
Speaking doesn't work.
There was only 14 people in the room, and we sold 2 of our thing, and we were thrilled. We were so excited. We were like, this junk works. This works. Now all we have to do is just steadily get more and more and more people into this same exact system, and voila. So focusing on those numbers in your business, really, they're the only ones that matter. You can look at, oh, my conversion rate was so high, or my click-through rate was high, or look at how low I'm paying per click on my Facebook ad, things like this, or you've got people bragging about their revenue, things like that, but you have no idea about their profit. So what you really just need to focus on is your own business. It's how much is going out versus how much is coming in. If the amount going out is less than the amount coming in, you need to be thinking about replicating things if you want a real business, not a promotion.
So what's the difference between a real business and a promotion?
Well, a promotion is like, okay, when I talk about busy marketing work that can't be measured, I'm always saying there's so much busy work, like going and getting visible, going on a blab, going on Periscope, things like this. These things are fabulous things, but if they're not measurable and it's you going out there and hustling yourself, then that's not a business, it's a promotion. And sure, there's a lot of people who can even make $1 million from their promotion. They're good at their promotion. But what's going to happen one day is you're going to freaking burn out. You're going to be so burnt out because the only time you're making money is by your hustle, by you going out there. I mean, hustle is the best thing an entrepreneur has going for them. But it could be a tricky thing too, because it could be the thing that gets you into burnout and gets you where I'm tired of this. I'd rather just go get a job. I'm tired of freaking hustling 24/7, trying to think of something to talk about, trying to think of a next new program to create and all that stuff. And that's because if you can't break down your business into a basic math formula, and you can't replicate that formula to produce the same results over and over again, then that's when you have a promotion. There's nothing wrong with having a promotion. We all started with a promotion until we learned what the crap we were doing. So there's nothing wrong with it, but you have to realize it and be aware of it, that, hey, I've got a promotion going on here. And if I want a business that is driven and fueled by real business economics, and it's not driven and fueled by me, then I've got to do some changes on the marketing, the type of marketing that I'm focusing on.
That's really interesting because, a lot of people have their businesses rely on promotion after promotion after promotion.
Yeah.
And that's their entire business. That's how I built my business, was I'm promoting this thing now. And now I've got this other cool thing. I'm going to promote that now.
Yeah, exactly.
I got this other cool thing. I'm going to promote that now. And then in the meantime, there's these other things that like, well, I did that. I did that. I did that. Those are all still there. Like, those could be helping people too, right? So that's my focus.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I could be turning those things on autopilot.
And that's my focus this year, is to take all my stuff and go, that's why I've been paying attention to you and your things. Like, I need to be doing more of that for myself in my own business. So very cool. All right, let me see. I have other questions. You just keep talking and you keep giving me ideas of things to say. All right. You kind of addressed this in one of your rants. You talked about how there's too much busy. All right, but explain it a little bit. There's too much busy marketing work. What's the difference between busy marketing work and marketing work that gets results?
Well, I think the busy work gets results too. So I won't be so hard on the busy marketing work, because it gets results too. But the problem, it's more like the difference between busy marketing work versus measurable marketing work. And the difference in that is most people have you to believe that you need to be visible. You need to be visible everywhere. You need to build this, celebrity-like brand. You've got to get your fancy photo shoot. You've got to go on Periscope, and you've got to be on there every day. You've got to have a podcast. You've got to be blogging. You've got to be doing all these things, right? Well, those are what I call busy work if they're not measurable. If you can't measure this output that I am putting out is bringing me in this result. So what happens is that you find people in a catch-22, where it's like they'll say, I don't have enough money to do marketing. I don't have enough money to put some more marketing in place. Well, therefore, because they don't have enough, what they think is enough, I don't have enough marketing. That's why I'm not making any money. And then that's why I can't be spending any more money on marketing. And so it's like this cycle that you're stuck in. And that's when you have people who are like, I've tried everything, that didn't work, I've tried everything. Because you're trying too many things, you're doing so much. All of the things can work. So all of the things, whatever you're deciding to do, it can work. But if you don't focus on one first and measure it and be able to duplicate it, then you have no business going to add on the next thing. Because what happens is that the more busy work that you do, you are trapped. You're trapped to have to continue doing it. Like you've got all these balls in the air and you're juggling all these balls. You cannot drop one. And as a matter of fact, you think that the answer is I have to keep throwing more balls in if I want more results. So I have to keep juggling more and more things that I'm doing, and you're trapped, because if you stop doing those things because they're not measurable, they're not repeatable, then everything goes to crap. And that's when you're burnt out. That's when you have these gurus that are coming out on their blogs and saying, you know what, the internet marketing world and the coaching business, it chewed me up and spit me out. I don't like it anymore and stuff like that, because it's not things that you're measuring. Because if you can't measure, then you're not in control. If you can't measure what you're doing, you're not in control of your business. And so that's when you're so easily swayed over this next new thing and this next new thing and this next big promise that promises to be the next big thing. And you're trying everything and busier than ever. You don't know when to say no. One thing that people are always amazed at my husband and I, they're like, how in the world are you guys how are you guys so opinionated and you have so much conviction to say, no, I'm not doing that. Yeah, it's a good idea for you or whatever. Sure, have fun with it. But I'm not doing that. It's because we focus on things that we can measure and things that we can repeat. And only then do we even get excited about, oh, let's try this other thing. You will not find me trying nothing extra unless the one thing that I set myself to, I can measure it and I can make sure that it's profitable and that I can duplicate it without me, and then I'll go
Excellent.
On to the next one.
All right, well, that's resonating with our folks here. Lisa saying, oh my goodness, yes, and Benicia saying, that's me, I'm juggling too many balls. So actually now is a really good time for me to tell folks I'm going to open up the seats. We do have a couple of rules. So for the first time since I've been doing the show last week, we did have somebody do something awful and I had to boot them. So no awful things, is a family-friendly show. But if you've got a question that you'd like to ask Robin, I know.
Now I'm curious.
People are ridiculous. And so if you've got a question that you'd like to ask, feel free to jump on camera. Benicia's got a question. We'll get to that in just a second. If you have something that you would like to add that you think is of value, or would like to just get on and say amen to that or whatever, feel free to jump on and join a seat. And in the meantime, Robin and I are just going to keep talking as if nobody's going to join. So we're just going to go through that. Lisa says she's in Robin's Funnel Fanatics. Love it. Been there a week. Wonderful. Yay. Benicia wants to know, how do you determine which marketing strategies to focus on?
Well, you have to focus on getting a customer or a client and converting them. And you have to focus on, how can I do this in a repeatable way? So obviously I'm majorly biased towards funnels. Funnels is how we do that. Funnels are how you go out and you attract someone and then you can convert them to buy. So those are the things that you need to be focusing on. All the other stuff, like your branding, your personality, the know, like, and trust factor, your photo shoots, all those things, I'm not totally bashing them because they're good. They're good additions. But if you have never learned how to attract a customer and convert a customer like clockwork over and over again, then it's my opinion that there's nothing else that you should be focusing on, spending your time on, or your money on until you've done that first.
You know, and really, your brand develops out of that anyway. And you let your personality shine through while you do that. I mean, that's part of the how that happens, is that how do you part of attracting the right people to you and converting them, well, to let them know who you are and what you're about. So there is your personality marketing, so to speak, and there is your branding is all wrapped up in that. And so, but it's not like we're not focusing on, oh, I got to pick the right colors and I got to get the design just exactly the way it's supposed to be. Like, it's not about that.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Let me tell you, for the first 2.5 years of my husband and I's business as coaches, I mean, we had a business before that we did done for you marketing. But once we changed our business model where we're like the face, I do these quotes a lot. I'm addicted to, I cannot stop doing them. I'm sorry if you're annoyed by them. But when we became like the face of our business, we had the funniest, we still have it on our website. We still use it in our marketing. We have one picture that we used for 2.5 years. And I will tell you, I went in front of my garage outside. My husband took a picture of me. And then he went and stood in front of the garage, and I took a picture of him. And then we had our graphic designer, remove the background and kind of like squish us together where it looked like we were standing together. And that is the picture that we used for the first 2.5 years of our business. So sure, does quality photography and quality branding and all that stuff, does it help you? Yes. But is it necessary and vital for you to build a business? No. And it's not the most important thing that you need to be focusing on.
I'm glad you said that. That's because it's really like for certain businesses, eventually people need that. For people who are professional speakers, yeah, you need a professional headshot because you got to look good. But if you're marketing dog training, you don't need, the fancy schmancy headshots. Hey, Steve and Scott, how are you today? Welcome to the show.
I'm all good, thanks very much. I've got a couple of questions. You'll have to excuse us because my little boy's running backwards and forwards, right? So I'll nip in and nip out if that's all right, yeah?
That's fine.
Right. What it is I mean, if you look at my bio, I run a network marketing business from the UK, but I'm branded as Stardust Cosmetics. I've been trading now for 3 years. But I'm still struggling to find regular customers for the products we sell. We sell cosmetics, makeup, loose leaf teas, ground coffees, home care products, all repeatable products. But the customers I've got, I kind of have to chase after them to get them. They don't keep on returning. I've got a Facebook page which got like 700 likes, but I've also got a customer page. But I don't want to keep on bombarding my customer page, which is private, which no one else can see. And I don't want to keep on bombarding them with offers. I want people to come to me because of the products I sell. I don't want to keep on hunting for them. That makes any sense. I've got interference there.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. I think it depends on the rules. When it comes to network marketing, that's a little bit of a trickier thing because you're bound by the rules of your company that you work for.
Well, we've got no rules. Well, I'd say that as long as we abide by the ethics code, I like to say the company I work for is a Polish company, but it operates in 57 countries. I'm branded as, like I say, Stardust Cosmetics, and the company I'm actually trading for is FM Cosmetics. So I've branded for the last 3 years my business. And like I say, most people in my area where I live know me by Stardust, know me by the other company, but they know I sell that company's products, if you know what I mean. And like I say, I'm now trying. It's 2016, and I'm trying to get off to a good start by building the foundations in January to sort me out for the rest of the year. So that I can do it right from January and the following years. Instead of like for the last 3 years, I've been hunting for customers. I want to be able to work with customers who actually want to buy the products and also who don't mind us like tagging them in the post or things like that, And that's where I'm struggling at the marketing. How do I appeal to because the majority of it's makeup and fragrances, and it's a lot of women who buy the products, admittedly, but we also do loose leaf teas and ground coffees, and loose leaf tea and ground coffees are quite a large part of the population drinks loose leaf teas and coffees, but I'm still struggling to find customers to come and say, yeah, I'll try that brand. So I'm trying to figure out how I can do a marketing strategy to get people to come to me, because I'm doing a lot of knocking on doors, advertising for businesses, but I'm still struggling to find the customers to come to me to try the products.
Yeah, it's like there's two different ways to get clients. Either you're going out and you're chasing them, or you're attracting them. And so either you're doing the work personally, or your money is doing the work for you. So there's free traffic, like publicity, like go be seen everywhere, go be visible everywhere, go networking, go meet people, tell everybody about it, or paid media, which our favorite, the thing that fuels all of our businesses that we have is Facebook ads. We use Facebook ads to fuel our business. So if you're selling physical products, depending on the price points of them, you would have no problem at all learning Facebook ads and just targeting the right people and sending them straight to your order page to order your products. That's what my husband's newest business does all day long. We just put an ad in front of the right people and they buy it over and over again. So perhaps also what you need to focus on besides just getting into paid media is focusing in on a target market, because just, hey, coffee for everyone, it's going to be pretty rough. It's going to be pretty hard to get your cost per acquisition low. So if you went for a specific group of people who like coffee, then that would be better.
It's energy coffee, and what I've done is I've marketed that to fitness camps and keep fit, lose weight. We also do like a focus coffee, which is ideal for people who work night shifts, long hours. It helps them stay awake longer, stuff like that. And I have done that side of it, but I'm still struggling to find the customers. The products are brilliant, and everyone said the products are brilliant, but it feels like the tea, the box of coffee there you see, that'll last you 2 weeks. Like if you have the recommended daily allowances, which is 2 a day, that'll last you 2 weeks. But I'm struggling to get the people after 2 weeks is up, or maybe some people are having maybe 3 or 4 cups a day, and that box runs out. I'm not getting the people coming straight back to buy it. I'm having to search for them and say, did you like the coffee? Did you drink it all? Yeah, I've used it all. Yeah, I'd like another order. It's not the first thing on the mind to want to order. Do you know what I mean? It's so difficult to keep up with it.
All right. Well, I'm hearing 2 things. I'm hearing that you're having a challenge with incoming traffic and new customers. And then the second challenge is retaining a customer to have them continue to come back. And so what you really want to do is you want to think about who is your ideal customer. Martin said it here. You lose your specialist position if you're sending me coffee offers after I buy perfume. But here's what you can do is you become the guy who you need to step out of I'm selling network marketing products. You need to be the guy who's the expert. Robin, Mike keeps like wandering back and forth. He is hilarious. He's like, anyway.
He cannot sit still.
So anyway, back to Steven. So what you want to do is you want to think like, you know what, I'm going to be the guy, and I'm just throwing this out there. I don't know if this is going to be a market or not that's viable, but I'm going to be the guy who helps busy moms. That's who I'm going to help. Busy moms of young children and grade school children. So, from babies through grade school, or primary school or whatever you're going to call it, whatever it's called where you are. And so these are the people I'm going to help. And so I'm going to create I'm going to create an information product to get them. I'm going to build a list. And so now I'm going to start to build a list of free folks. And so, here's ways that you can slap on some makeup and have some energy and feel good and look good when you're exhausted from the baby being up all night. Robin's smiling because she's like, oh my God, that's my life. Robin's got a baby, right? So that's you kind of want to serve those people with where they are, because now your coffee helps them and your the cosmetics products also can help that same market, right? So you want to think about the who first. Then after you've done that, you want to really consider like, all right, how can I stay top of mind with these people? And if many of your people, or if you're meeting them in person or face to face, then, you know, why not? Or even if you're not, it doesn't matter. Why not collect their snail mail address and send them a newsletter? And so or a postcard, once a week, you send them a postcard, or once a week, like you want to hit them with stuff. And then the last thing you could do is you hire somebody who knows how to do Facebook marketing, Facebook ads, and you do a targeting ad for the people who like your Facebook page and for the people whose email address. It's a custom audience. You can enter your email addresses from your folks, the email addresses that you have, upload them into Facebook so that your product is always in front of them. So like, and maybe the ad is, did you run out of coffee yet? Give us a call, or don't forget to reorder. And those are the only people that see it are the people that you determine. And maybe it's only, you know, maybe you've only got 20 customers, but that's okay. That's 20 customers that are seeing your coffee ad, and they see it when they need to see it. You're not going to be, you know,
20 people will tell their friends that they're using this, and how do you get that then? But like I say, when I never mention that I'm in a network marketing company, because like you say, the products stand alone and they are really good. So that's why I market the product. I don't market the company, like the company where they come from, because my business, Stardust Cosmetics, markets them. So like I say, that's the only problem I have, and that's like finding the customers to get people to try stuff, because sometimes it's difficult to find a customer and then holding on to that customer, because there's so many products out there what they're going to try and someone's going to steal. I'd rather have committed customers every time. And I am a decent lad, and I am like quite honest when it comes down to the products and the ingredients and things like that. And I'd rather find the people who want to use the products, who want to lose weight, who wants to stay fit, and like you say, use the mineral makeups, than having to compete with someone who's just going to get a customer and forget about them 3-4 days later. You know what I mean? I want a customer.
Here's the thing that jumps out to me in all of this is that just because your company has a lot of products to offer does not mean that you need to be offering them right now, all at the same time. First of all, a lot of people that come to us and they have so many products to sell, if they coach one-on-one with us, we tell them, which one do you have one first that's already proven to convert? If they do, we'll start with that one first. If they don't, we'll go with our gut. Pick one. We're working on one only. You would not believe how it bothers our clients. They're like, no, I've got to be doing this. I've got to be doing all these things and selling all my stuff. And we're like, no, you're not going to. You're going to focus on one. And then once it's working and once you've got it off automated, then you can focus on the other one. Just using discipline does not mean you're going to miss out on all those opportunities that you have at your fingertips. But you're going to need discipline, because the thing that you need to do is you need to acquire and convert a customer first. That's your first thing. You need to make sure that you can do that profitably with Facebook ads by itself, just how it is. Then once that's working, your next step would be to increase your transactional value per customer, increase each customer's value. But if you're trying to do all these things at the same time, you're going to be so scattered. Your efforts are scattered. You're going to be likely just treading water forever. So start with one product, one target market, figure out how to attract them and convert them profitably. Then step 2 is to get those people to start buying more from you on a regular and consistent basis, all automated. Then focus on product number 2.
It's a bit like having the microscope pointing at the sun, isn't it? And then if you keep on moving it about, you don't get like the fire burn. You've got to be consistent in one product, like you're saying. Cool. Thank you.
Yep. All right, Stephen. Well, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to open up the seat for the next person.
Hey.
Mark Wales, how are you?
Good to see you too. How are you?
It's so good to see you.
It feels like we're on the Brady Bunch here, doesn't it?
I'm great.
Like you can look at each other like the Brady Bunch.
I know, it's fun, isn't it?
Hi. Hi, Don.
Yeah. Hi. How are you?
I was just comment for who was it just on? Steve.
He's adorable.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah, he's just gotta breathe.
Who's Steven?
So I love your stuff. And I was just noticing, like you were saying, his energy is scattered, and that's going to get to his marketing and his sales there. I think he could learn a lot from Gary Vaynerchuk in the wine. There's tons of wines, right? But he started it was more about wine tasting than selling coffee. So I thought maybe that might be a good angle for him. And you had some good points that alluded to the result, not the product, right? So weight loss, but I love my coffee, or one coffee that tastes great, even though I don't really like coffee, but I love cream and sugar. So I drink coffee so I can have my cream and sugar. But I thought it had some great points. It's just he needs some better positioning, and because he's in that position when you're in direct marketing and direct selling, you're kind of limited by the product line that you're selling because they don't want you selling other stuff. So you've got to get creative around the offer and the positioning before even the offer. Because the offer is going to be about pricing, discount, auto shipping. The other thing was he's doing a lot of the follow-up. I thought maybe you could give him some tips on automating his autoresponders to, did you try it? And, oh, by the way, here's a tip. Pour in the boiling water before you put the sugar in. Don't mix the sugar with the coffee, right? Like people make those kind of drastic coffee mistakes. Do you put your sugar in before you stir your instant coffee? Sinner. So, those kind of things.
I like it.
Very cool. Thank you. Thanks for the ideas and for the tips. Those are fantastic.
So it's been good stuff.
Nice.
Awesome. Very nice. Cool. All right. So we do have another question from Benicia.
Sure.
That we're gonna.
So I have
go ahead, Martin.
Who's me, and then I have Customer Catcher. So Customer Catcher is kind of like copywriting.
Yeah.
Branding and positioning, more about what to say and how to say it, but it's more copywriting. People tend to put me in the copywriting niche there, but Martin Wales is more about clarity, credibility, confidence. So I'm always jumping back and forth between the two, co-branding. You know what I mean? Versus, should I ride one horse and say it's Martin Wales, Customer Catcher Company, or it's Customer Catcher, founder Martin Wales?
I'll answer that. A few years ago, I switched from communication transformation to Felicia Slattery. And I brand everything now under Felicia Slattery. Because whenever people buy, they're getting me. They're getting my training. They're getting my, my thoughts, my ideas, my concepts. And so I've created a personal business, a personal brand around myself. We got some loud feedback. I don't know who that is.
Is it me? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe your earplugs weren't fully in the plug there, but that's good.
Maybe. Yeah. So anyway, that's what I did was I made that switch out because then everything is under the umbrella of Felicia Slattery, and Felicia Slattery can teach this, and Felicia Slattery will teach that, or the other thing. But it's all under Felicia Slattery, and it's all about communication. So that's kind of what I did. And it sounds to me that your stuff isn't so broad that it wouldn't fit under the umbrella of Martin Wales. Yeah. What do you think, Robin?
Uh-oh.
I put it on mute because I was thinking that I was the feed. Is it making feedback now?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like what you said. I totally agree. Nothing to add here. Nothing to add.
Okay, cool. Fantastic.
No,
all right,
good.
Great. Anything else, Martin?
Show. Good luck. Have fun.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. We are having fun, I think.
Anytime I get to yap with other adult people, then I'm always having fun.
That's a good day, right? That's a good day. All right, fantastic. Well, we've got another seat open. Benicia wanted to know, how do you determine which marketing strategies to focus on?
We talked about getting customers and converting people. Focusing on that before you focus on anything else.
Okay.
Yeah, because one thing that's interesting
Awesome.
about, what you see happening nowadays in the coaching space, you've got kind of like this celebrity business model, and it's where it's more focused on you, and you're creating followers, people who think you're cool, they think your life is so great, and they want to be like you, and they want to follow you. And so sure, they'll buy anything that you sell them. But with direct response marketing, it's like if you can't attract someone and convert someone cold. What I mean by that is they have no idea who you are. They haven't watched all your blabs and your periscopes. If you can't do that first, then I don't think that anybody has any business of doing any of that other warming up type of stuff and connecting with your audience, because you're fooling yourself to think that you know marketing when really you're really good at promoting yourself, you're really good at connecting with people and all of that stuff, but it's a totally different animal than marketing, and it's not duplicatable and things like that. So always focus on, I need to find out how to get a customer and convert that customer, even if they have never heard of me before.
Okay, so that's interesting, because a lot of times we hear the opposite. You know what I mean? Like we hear like, well, get people to know you and know what you're about, and then they'll be able to buy from you. Like,
we can do a whole blab on the know, like, and trust factor.
Totally
oh my gosh, I have so many rants inside of me that have to come out about the whole know, like, and trust thing. Oh my gosh, we could talk for hours.
Well, I think that there's, Elisa's saying relationship marketing and, the know, like, and trust part, that, like, it's not, here's my rant. Yeah. It's not either or, it's both and. You need to be able to appeal to people who've never heard of you, who don't know anything about you. And I've had this experience. It's an interesting experience, because what happens more frequently when you work on relationship marketing like I do, and content marketing, is I share a lot about myself. And I presume that by the time people have come to me, they've been all over my blog, and I was going to say my blab, but they've been all over my blog. They've been, they've read my Facebook posts, and they've been on my website, and they've seen my stuff, right? But it happens, and it happens with some regularity, that people will find me from somewhere or another, and they'll make an appointment because they want to talk to me, and I'll be like, well, you probably have an idea about what I do, and they're like, nope, they're not on my list. They're like, nothing. And it's so interesting to me that, like, oh, okay, let me back up and tell you about myself. I just presume that people are coming knowing those things because I have all those pieces out there, so that when people make that call, they don't have to I don't have to sell them on anything, because they're already pre-sold. So that's a good thing. But on the other side, you also want to be able to sell people.
They've got a problem, you've got a solution. So yeah, I approach my business both ways. And I think the ready to buy people, the people who don't know you, you have to get good at that first. We focus on that first because there's no relationship about it when you're doing Facebook ads and you're doing lead gen and you're converting people and you're duplicating it. Relationship can come after for the people who maybe got on your list and they weren't ready to buy right then. Sure, you're building a relationship with them. So when you do that relationship marketing and the content and, the videos, the chatting in the Facebook groups, all that, it's very powerful. It does get people pre-sold where they now want to buy. They're way hotter for you now. But my belief is that know, like, and trust factor starts with nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. It starts with your ability to communicate to someone else that you know their problem better than they do. You can articulate it better than they can, and you have the solution, and you are the choice for that solution. That's what builds that first trust and that first attraction, that first why they give a crap about you. And they don't care anything about your stories, anything about you, your personality. They could give a crap. only in the context of how it applies to them, how it's relevant to them. So it gets really twisted nowadays where everybody's leading with themselves and leading with their personality and leading with their lifestyle and all that, when people don't really, I don't give a crap. I was doing a review of a funnel for a new client that we got, and she had written a whole email series that was based on a know, like, and trust formula that she had learned. And it was all, let me tell you a little bit about myself. You know, I'm a mom, you know, and these are the things I like. I like 80s bands and this, that, and the other. Like, those are fun things, right? I like to learn that about her. They're fun things, and it's fun, it's quirky, it's personality. But this was in the first email. Yeah.
But I'm not going to buy anything from her because I solved my problem.
Opted in for your freebie, and I'm like, people don't give a crap about what 80s bands you like or anything. They only care about you and how it's relevant to them.
Maybe in 2 weeks.
Yeah. So tell your stories. Tell your stories. Use your personality.
Yes.
But those things are secondary to you speaking to their problems and giving them the solution. You can tell a story about yourself in the midst of it. And so your story is in a teaching spirit. It's not in a, hey, everybody, look how cool I am, and learn about me and learn about my life and learn about the music I like.
Yes.
People can learn about, you know, people learn about me that I love cooking and stuff like this, but it's not because my emails come right out and say, hey, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I love cooking and I love jazzercise. No, if you learn that about me, it was in the context of me teaching you. It was in the context of me serving you and speaking to your problems and your solutions. That's when the know, like, and trust is built, in the midst of that. Yes. Not just, hey, here's my cool life and that kind of thing.
Yes. That's huge. You know, I teach storytelling. That's part of you know, speaking and communicating your message. And it's not storytelling. It's not storytelling. Give us a prop. Oh, I know, that's prop party. Deborah did that. But excuse me. But that's, you know, knowing how to tell a story from a marketing standpoint and how to incorporate your personality. It needs to be done with the idea of marketing and sales, not I'm telling a story. I'm just telling a story to tell a story. I'm telling you about me because you need to know about me. No, it's about your story has to be about them, which is really hard for people to wrap their brain around. Like, how does my story have to be about them? Because they don't care about you. They're doing their own radio station.
It's only after.
What's in it for me?
It's only after they've realized,
hey,
this chick freaking, she knows my problem. This chick freaking has some really smart stuff that can fix my problem. Then they start, you know, doing the stalking. They start stalking you all over and watching all your videos. And then people tell us all the time, after they've been on our list, most of the time after they bought something from us, then they run into our story on our Facebook page or whatever, and they're like, oh my gosh, this makes me love you even more. They didn't say this is what made me get on your list. This is what made me attracted to you. This is what made me love you even more. The know, like, and trust as me as an expert who can help you. That was there first. And then they learn, you know, they like all your funny words you say when you say jackwagon gurus, and, you know, they start to like your personality and things like that. But that's never there in the beginning. It's the problem and the solution. That's always there in the beginning.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Robin, this is great. We're even over time. So I want to thank you for being here.
Well, the best way is our
Facebook
Facebook
group. More
about
about you.
We have a Facebook group called Marketing Megaminds, where we geek out on marketing all the time. So you can go and you can join the group and get a whole bunch of like marketing free resources and stuff if you go to marketingmegaminds.com. You can go there and it'll get you in the group.
MarketingMegaminds.com. All right, let's put that link in
free
here.
goodies. We've got a bunch of like interviews like this and stuff that are in our membership area that you can get.
Okay, so the Marketing Megaminds redirects over to Facebook. Is that right? Oh, I put one too many T's in there. Hang on.
You're better than me. You can type and talk at the same time. I cannot.
Hang on. I can't. I can't. Man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to have you back, girl.
The questions you were asking me, I've already got like
going.
50 rants that I want to go on Facebook Live and do. You pulled the content right out of me.
Content begets content. You got to love that. All right. Well, that's what I do. All right. Well, thanks for being here. I'm so glad that you could join us today. And I'm glad that you could join us today wherever you are listening in from. I love the little map. We've got people from coast to coast in the U.S. We've got a couple of folks over there in the U.K. So I'm glad that you all could be here to join me. Next week, I'm going to hope that I'm not going to cough like I'm going to do right this second. I'm sorry.
Somebody says, why don't
I won't be sick next week. And Diane is going to be here because you do live Facebook Live now.
Yeah, and because I don't need to be getting on another platform because I'm mastering one platform.
So you're on as my guest. Yeah, you. That's
I'll
what
be
I'm
on
not doing.
Y'all got blabs. I'll be on y'all's blabs, but I don't know if I'll be starting my own anytime soon.
There you go. All right. So you can catch Robin on Facebook Live. She does her own Facebook Live shows. You never know when those are going to be. So fingers crossed with that. Thank you, Melody. I know I will feel better soon. So next week, same time, same place, noon on Tuesday, noon Eastern, whatever time it was in your world, an hour and 5 minutes ago. That's what time we're starting with Diane Conklin. We're going to talk about direct marketing and some old school stuff because Diane Conklin does old school stuff. If you like Dan Kennedy, she won Dan Kennedy's Marketer of the Year Award, and she's amazing.
Nice.
Yo, yeah. If you don't know Diane, you got to show up and just watch what she's got to share next week.
I'll be showing up.
I'll
be geeking out.
You will. Geeks love Diane. And if you're into like hardcore, intense, smart stuff, Diane's the lady. And I'm going to lighten her up. We'll laugh a couple of times. So we'll see everybody next week. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye. I have no idea how to hang up. What do I just press the X?